Welcome back to English with Monica and Cajun. Today we're diving into something fun.
Yeah.
All right, Cajun, I gotta be honest. There's one word in English that still makes my brain do a little loop-de-loop every single time I think about it. And I'm talking about read.
Oh, read. You just hit on a classic, Monica. It's like the ultimate English language prank, isn't it? Same spelling, two completely different pronunciations for past and present. Who thought that was a good idea?
Exactly. I mean, you've got I read a book every day and I read a book yesterday. Spelled identical, but one sounds like read and the other like read. It's wild. How do you even explain that to someone learning English?
You just kind of don't initially. You shrug and say, Welcome to English. Honestly, it's one of those things where context is absolutely everything. If someone says, I read a fantastic article, you instantly know from the context that it happened in the past because of the fantastic article, implying it's already been consumed.
But what if they're saying, I'm going to read a fantastic article? Then it's future. Or I often read fantastic articles. Present. It's the same exact word form, but the auxiliary verb or the time indicator just totally shifts the meaning and pronunciation.
Oh, absolutely. The little helpers, the going tos and the offens, they're the unsung heroes of English, aren't they? They clarify the mess that Reed creates. Without them, we'd just be standing around guessing.
Right? I've actually had conversations with non-native speakers who get completely stumped. They'll ask, how do I know if you mean present or past? And I'm like, well, you just know? Which is the least helpful answer ever.
Yeah, you just know is basically the English speaker's equivalent of because I said so. It's not a rule, it's an intuition developed over years of linguistic trauma. But seriously, it's fascinating how our brains process that so quickly without even thinking about it.
It really is. It speaks to the power of context, I think. Our brains are constantly making lightning-fast connections to figure out what tense is implied. But it's also a testament to how utterly illogical English can be at times.
Completely illogical. You know, I was trying to explain this to a friend from France the other day, and her eyes just glazed over. She was like, but in French, the past tense of lire to read is lu. It's different. It sounds different. It looks different.
And she's not wrong. Most languages change the spelling or add an ending, like walk becomes walked, play becomes played. But read, nah, we're going to keep it exactly the same. Just mess with the sound.
Yeah, Reed just stands there defiantly in the middle of all the other verbs going, nope, I'm special. I do what I want. It's like the rebellious teenager of the English dictionary.
That's a great analogy, actually. It's got that I'm not like other verbs vibe. But honestly, it's not the only one that's a bit tricky, even if it's the most prominent. Like present the gift versus present at a meeting. Same spelling, different pronunciation, different meaning.
Oh, yeah, homographs. English is full of those little landmines. Lead the metal versus lead the verb. That's another good one. But with read, it's the exact same verb in different tenses, which is where the real mind bend comes in.
That's the key difference, you're right. Lead the metal and lead the verb are totally different parts of speech, really. But read is just this one verb, doing double duty with its sound.
It makes me think about how the language evolved. I wonder if there was a point where the spelling was different and then they just decided, nah, let's simplify the spelling but keep the old pronunciation for the past tense. Because English loves to do weird things like that with its history.
I bet that's exactly what happened. You know, the great vowel shift and all that historical linguistic jazz that made English sound so different from what it used to. Probably some old Anglo-Saxon dude just decided read was cool this way.
An Anglo-Saxon dude with a wicked sense of humor, clearly. Imagine being the one to pitch that rule change. Okay, so for this word, we're going to keep the spelling the same, but you got to remember to change the vowel sound when it's in the past. Chaos.
Absolute chaos. But somehow we all just absorb it. Like little linguistic sponges, we learn it implicitly without a rule being explicitly taught beyond maybe a quick note in primary school.
Yeah, it's not like they dedicate a whole semester to the anomalies of read. You just pick it up, usually through making a few mistakes or hearing it enough times. Which is, I think, how a lot of English works, frankly.
It is. It's one of those things that native speakers take for granted, but when you really stop and think about it, it's completely bonkers. So how do you manage it when you're writing? Do you ever pause and think, wait, how would this sound?
Honestly, not usually when writing, because when I'm writing, the surrounding words and sentences naturally build the tense. Yesterday, I read a long report. The yesterday just does all the heavy lifting for me. But if I'm speaking, and I just blurt out I read it, I might quickly add a this morning or every day if I sense any confusion.
That's a good point. The ambiguity mostly arises in spoken English, especially when you're short on context. So if someone says, "Did you read that book?" I'm hearing read, and I know they mean past. If they say, "Do you read books?" I hear read, and I know it's present habit.
Exactly. The auxiliary verbs are like little traffic controllers for read. Did you read? Do you read? They're crucial. Without them, you're just adrift in a sea of identical letters.
And imagine if you didn't have those. Just someone saying you read that book could mean, are you currently reading it? Or did you finish it? Or do you ever read books? It'd be a nightmare.
Total nightmare. So, for anyone out there struggling with read, just know you're not alone. It's a universal struggle for anyone trying to master this magnificent, frustrating language.
It's truly a badge of honor, isn't it? If you can navigate the read conundrum, you're well on your way. What about other irregular verbs that are tricky? Cut is another one, same past and present, but at least the pronunciation stays the same.
Cut is a blessing compared to read. At least it's consistent in its sound. Put, set, hit, they're all like that. Same form, same sound. Read is just uniquely stubborn. It's the rebel with a cause, and that cause is confusing everyone.
And that's what makes it so fascinating, I think. It's not just a word, it's a little linguistic mystery embedded in our everyday speech. It challenges us to pay attention, to listen for those subtle cues.
It really does. It's a constant reminder that English isn't just a set of rules. It's a living, breathing, sometimes contradictory thing. And read is perhaps the best example of its quirky personality.
So next time you encounter read, don't despair. Just take a deep breath, listen for the surrounding words, and remember you're experiencing a truly unique facet of the English language.
And if all else fails, just ask, did you mean read or read? It might get a laugh, but at least you'll get your answer. It's truly a word that keeps us on our toes, isn't it?
It absolutely does. It's a humble reminder that even native speakers sometimes have to pause and appreciate the sheer weirdness of their own language. Thanks for diving into this linguistic rabbit hole with me, Cajun.
Anytime, Monica. It's always fun to poke at the peculiar corners of English. And remember, keep on reading.